Welcome to another edition of idrivecrap. So for this edition, I'm going to show you one of my absolute favorite projects. I've had this thing this has been another one that's been ongoing for quite a few years. Some history of this. It is a Harley-Davidson shovelhead. Um, the It was built out of pieces from a special construction with a 103-inch S&S shovel head, and that thing was a monster. But you got to have one that has the Harley Davidson brand on the title. So, in another day of me, the T-shirt matching the projects. So this one right here, that's right. This one has a little bit of something special. It is a foot clutch with no spring, so you know what that's called. And then it also has a jockey shift. This is a particularly nasty shovel head. It won't be running today because this has wiring issues, ignition issues. It was a barn find, I should say garage find, out of Queens, New York. And it is, uh, I mean, you ride a Harley like this, and you're pretty much the guy. There's no kill switch. I like to refer to this one as user-repellent because as you're sitting here, if you go to crank it up, your starter switch is going to be down here on the actual starter. So, to start it, you got to have your hand right here. When you're sitting at a traffic light or something, especially, someone of my stature, and you're sitting there, well, this pipe hits your jeans right here. It's never actually burned me, but it'll singe my pants enough that when they go through the wash, yeah, there's a little hole. I shouldn't say a hole, it basically is just a little burned area. And as soon as it goes through the wash, done. The turn signals in this, I don't know, they got put on. In the time I had this thing on the road, those were not there. But this one, had come back into my possession. And like I said, it's just, I love this thing. Absolutely love it. The between the compression and the pipes, like, you get on this thing, it'll set off car alarms, even, just kind of idling. And the pipes, you get on it, they'll throw flames. If you're really just on it and ripping through the gears, it sounds like a top fueler going down the street. So, like I said, my favorite project. I will also show you something that is interesting with this one. So there's much more fun going on the other direction. All right, so it's the other side. And as you can see, 3-inch open belt primary, no guard. If you wear loose enough pants, this is your clutch. So you have one hand up on the gas, push the clutch. This is your shifter. So, clutch, shift, clutch. Like I said, there is that clutch is on-off switch. So if your foot comes off of that clutch, bike's going. So that is what's known as a clutch. So the 3-inch open belt, if you wear loose enough pants as you're sitting here riding, it'll catch in the belt and it'll just be like this. Like somebody's, you know, like a puppy is pulling at your jeans right up until it self-clearances. So I've never had a problem with it, but you know, sometimes I'll have jeans that won't really have a cuff on the back, and that's why. So, oh, the Springer, I think it's a 6-over, but the eventual idea with this is I would like to go kind of low and rigid, bring it down a little bit, check out the rake and trail for the front end. But the other reason I call this user-repellent, you know, I mean, you don't have a clutch up here, there's nothing. So when other people will, you know how they go, hey man, can I ride your motorcycle? Well, you may want to look at it before you ask me for that. Well, I heard you wrote it in, can I try it? Why don't you look at it first? And they'll come over and look at it. Jeez, I ain't riding that. That's what I thought. So this one here, I definitely, this one is fun to ride in anger. And, you know, general public, I mean, there's certain bikes that they don't notice. This one, they stay away from. So you, this is definitely, absolutely a menace to society machine. So, like I said, this right here is your shifter, and basically it still has the ratchet top. The transmission was originally a 4-speed. It's a 5-speed and a 4-speed case now, and still has the ratchet top on it. So there's no real figuring it out. It's basically kind of like a foot shifter, except you're just grabbing here and, you know, racking through the gears. And this is another one that it will lift the front tire. But I mean, this one is definitely I need to get to soon. Used to have a peanut tank on it, mounted on top of the backbone on the frame, and I broke 3 of those. 3. They all kept kind of cracking in the front, like the way it, pretty much no matter how I mounted it, it flexed in the front and just ripped all, you know, ripped the mounts out of the front of the tank. So it would get that crack and start leaking. You know, you already don't have a whole lot of range. But then after that, definite no bueno. Pretty much all I have to say about this one. You know, not really sure what the engine is, if it's 89 or 93. It definitely is not a stock 80-inch. But I really need to go through it. I like these flat black fat bobs. I kind of don't really like that tail. You know, I think rather than have this mirror up here, I'd rather kind of mount it down that way, because I don't really dig it all the way up there. The headlight works real nice. I'd rather have a 21 in up front. So I think when I do the rigid frame, I'll figure out the neck and, you know, the stretch and the rake and the trail and the frame. But definitely need to get this project up and going, and well, I will bring you guys along. Here we go. Up the Springer. Checking out the apes. The old Fat Bobs. Looking down. Whoop, there's that 3-inch open belt. And, well, there's the shifter. You'll get, what's that shifter? Well, what does it look like? Well, it looks like an X. Very good, because that is what it is. Well, gosh darn, what do you have something like that on there for? Well, that, like I said, is the shifter. Doesn't do anything else but it is definitely a, you know, well, won't you cut yourself on it? Not so far, because, well, you saw how my leg fits on that. So, not really going to happen. Does it have an edge on it? Why, yes, it does. This is project crap. Another fun story about the user repellent here. It's not only repellent for the user, it also is repellent for the passenger. So my wife, she was going to go for a ride with me. And, well, used to have a phantom pad on the back. You know, this one, bolted, not going anywhere. Phantom pad just was suction cups. You could take it on and off, no problem. So I pulled the bike out, started up. She climbed on. Well, we went out. She thought, geez, my dad and my grandfather, they told me about how Harleys ride, but she never really thought they rode that quite that bad. And were that uncomfortable. But we were out for about a half hour, just cruising along the back roads. Came back to my garage, and there's something sitting like trash in front of my garage. And I was not happy. And I kind of wondered what that was sitting in front of my garage. And as we got a little closer, the wife said, "What's that?" Well, that was your seat. As she was getting on, when she brought her knee again across the bike, she knocked off the pad. So that entire ride, she was sitting on the fender. So nobody stole the pad, and like I said, it now has this padded one. And I also have a little pad that'll fit on top of this. But, you know, for the most part, I need to strip this one down because This is, you know, this one's more just for me. I, you know, yeah. Another funny, funny story is back in the day, uh, just for giggles, I had a Yamaha Route 66, which was became a Virago 250, and then it became the Star 250, which is just a little, 249cc V twin. It's tiny. It's a starter bike, but I mean, to me, it feels bigger than the Honda Rebel. I don't really like the Honda Rebel. I mean, it's parallel twin, and even that little 250cc, Yamaha or Star, at low RPM, it's got, a little bit of that V twin sound. And man, that parallel twin Honda just doesn't have that. For some reason, those things, they feel really tiny to me. Even worse than that 250 that I already showed you. But the one day I was just putting along that little 250 just to have some fun. And man, there's the bro. And he had his, Harley sunglasses, Harley shirt, Harley jeans, and chain drive wallet. Had the vest, you know, all official and branded. Yeah. So, me just being out riding, I gave him the nod. Well, he looked at me, looked at the bike, looked at me, looked at the bike, looked at me, looked at the bike, then proceeded to turn up his nose, look the other direction, and continue walking. So, know, I mean, even a guy with the Honda, or the tiny little UJM with the milk crate on the back, well, at least that guy's out riding. And you really should respect that. So, I've never been one for dirt bikes on the street or, running wheelies through traffic. Just, you know, not not my vibe. There are there's way more fun things for me to do, and that's not it. But this one, I love this one, and I really got to get her back on the streets. So shovel heads are not really meant for the way I like to run, but well, this one survived me for a long time. And it's one of those vibes where, you know, when a bike is running right, King is happy. And when this one's running right, there's, I mean, if you're out on this one and it's running right, you block out the world. And there's nothing. There's just you, this, and everything else. And everything else doesn't matter. I mean, Again, this is idrivecrap. We will talk to you again. You will definitely see this one again.